The lesson of decision making will address and discuss on the decision making process in organizations and why it is a complex challenge for managers. This topic will address what is decision making and the characteristics of managerial decisions. At the end of this topic, you should be able to, firstly, explain what decision making entails for the manager. Secondly, explain the 4 characteristics for managerial decisions. Decision making is a process by which managers respond to opportunities and threats, both internal and external to the organization. They do so by analyzing available options and making decisions about the specific goals or course of action to take. Such goals or course of actions are often referred to as outcomes. Decision making is a conscious, active mechanism for change within an organization. For example, effective decision making could be attributed to how Puma transformed its flagging business from loss-making to profitability, or how Singapore Airlines decided effectively to focus on the competitive and cutting-edge aspects to maintain its leading position in the airline industry. The characteristics of managerial decision making give context to why decision making may be challenging and complex. These characteristics are more apparent in non-programmed decisions. There are 4 characteristics of managerial decisions that are to be examined, namely lack of structure, uncertainty, risk, and conflict. When coming up with a decision-making structure, we can categorize decisions into programmed and non-programmed decisions. Programmed decisions have been encountered before and have a system in place to replicate these decisions. These decisions often have a fixed, correct outcome and can be solved computationally, like a mathematical problem. These are routine, automated processes based on simple rules, heuristics, or formulae. For example, the reordering of inventory stock periodically or new employee training courses are programmed decisions. Non-programmed decisions lack structure in that there is no system in place to assist with the decision. New decisions do not have expected outcomes, and the decision maker must create a new system for these choices. This also requires creativity on the part of decision maker to invent systems and record their outcomes in a way to learn from the decision. For example, a business firm is making a non-programmed decision whether to diversify into new products and markets, or a university deciding whether to reconstruct new learning facilities. Managers rely on intuition and reasoned judgment for non-programmed decision. Intuition requires experience and maturity because a manager uses feelings, beliefs, and hunches to make decisions, all of which are susceptible to biases. However, intuition is useful when time is short. Reasoned judgment is preferred for making decisions. This skill uses carefully gathered information to generate possible alternatives and evaluates each alternative on its merits. It resembles the formal decision-making process and takes more effort and time. Certainty and uncertainty are states of being for a decision maker. When decision maker has complete and comprehensive information, he or she is certain. Uncertainty exists when the information is incomplete or there is a high probability of future outcomes being unknown. For example, when will countries in Asia recover fully from the economic slowdown and Eurozone debt crisis? Risk can be explained in several ways. Risk is the existence of state and the probability of success is less than 100%, inferring some occurrences of loss. Those losses could take the form of money, time, reputation, or even important assets. This loss may be an opportunity cost of not winning. Thus, it is important to realize that just as opportunity costs cannot be avoided, neither can risk. It must be managed effectively. Good decision makers manage risks by accepting the fact that decisions have consequences and tailing risks. However, they will do everything they can do to anticipate, minimize, and control the risks. For example, in a pharmaceutical industry, new drugs have a 10% probability of successfully passing the advanced clinical trials and 90% probability of failing. Managers experience two types of conflict when making tough decisions. Internal conflict refers to a manager's own cognitive dissonance, the turmoil between what one thinks should be and what is in reality. Or perhaps we could term it as a psychological conflict within the decision maker. For example, the need to hire an employee from a pool of individuals who are potentially over or underqualified. At times, managers may have to terminate employees they personally wish to keep within the organization. External conflict or conflict between individuals exists when outside pressure occurs between different aspects of an organization. A classic example is the conflict between labor and management over wages, time off, and other workers' rights. Another example of external conflict is when departments interpret strategic plans differently. The marketing department may take a bold advertising campaign for a new product which promotes change, whereas research and development department may not favor a product design which implements too many new changes. Or it could be that the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, argues in favor of increasing long-term debt to finance an acquisition. The CEO, Chief Executive Officer, prefers to minimize such debt and find the funds elsewhere. Another example is a situation where the marketing department wants more product lines to sell. The engineering department wants to focus on higher quality products, and the production department wants to lower costs by having longer production runs of fewer products with no changes.